Did you know that nearly 60% of all cancers occur in people aged 65 and older? According to the American Cancer Society, seniors face the highest risk not just of developing cancer, but also of missing the early signs, which are often subtle, misleading, or mistaken for ordinary aging. But here's the terrifying truth. By the time symptoms become obvious, it's often too late. According to data from the National Cancer Institute, the survival rate for early-stage cancers is over 80%, while for cancers discovered in later stages, that number can drop to as low as 20% or even lower depending on the type. That's a staggering difference, and the reason is simple. In the early stages, cancer is usually localized and treatable, but once it spreads, options shrink fast. So early detection can mean the difference between a full recovery and a life-threatening diagnosis. And that's exactly why this video we're uncovering the 8 early signs of cancer that people over 60 should never ignore. These are not the obvious signs we all know, but the sneaky, silent symptoms that often go unnoticed until it's too late. We're counting down from number 8 all the way to number 1, which is the most dangerous and commonly overlooked warning sign. And stick with us until the very end, because we'll also reveal 3 incredible foods backed by science that can help reduce your cancer risk significantly. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 8. Persistent heartburn. Everyone gets heartburn occasionally, especially after a heavy or spicy meal. But if you're over 60 and experiencing frequent or chronic heartburn, especially if it's waking you up at night or making it hard to eat, it could be more than just an upset stomach. This kind of persistent acid reflux could be a subtle warning sign of esophageal or stomach cancer. Many seniors assume it's just indigestion or a normal part of aging, but here's the problem. When acid frequently rises up into the esophagus, it can cause chronic inflammation known as Barrett's esophagus, which significantly raises the risk of cancer over time. The discomfort may start as a mild burn behind your breastbone or a sour taste in your mouth, but over weeks or months it becomes more frequent and harder to manage. You might also notice food getting stuck while swallowing, a hoarse voice in the morning, or the need to take antacids daily just to feel comfortable. When cancer is involved, the tissues in your esophagus or stomach lining begin to change at the cellular level, and that irritation doesn't go away no matter how carefully you eat. Doctors often use endoscopy, which is a small camera passed through the throat, to check for abnormal tissue changes. So, if you've been battling heartburn for more than a month and it doesn't improve with diet changes or medication, don't ignore it. It could be your digestive tract's quiet call for help. Number 7. Eye pain or changes in vision. This one might come as a surprise. Eye pain is rarely associated with something as serious as cancer, which is why it's one of the easiest signs to overlook. But seniors who suddenly develop persistent eye discomfort, blurry vision, or floaters that don't resolve could be experiencing one of the more unusual early symptoms of cancer, particularly ocular melanoma, or even cancers that have spread to the eye from other areas, such as the breast or lung. Eye-related cancers can affect the retina, the optic nerve, or the tissues surrounding the eye. Symptoms often begin subtly. Maybe you start seeing flashes of light, or objects look slightly distorted, or one eye becomes blurry while the other stays sharp. Some people describe a dull ache behind the eye that won't go away or pressure that feels like sinus tension. Unlike normal aging vision changes, these symptoms tend to worsen or persist, and they're often missed during routine eye exams. If a cancer spreads to the eye, it can also cause double vision or difficulty seeing at night. An ophthalmologist may need to use a special ocular ultrasound or retinal scan to look deeper into the eye. The problem is, if you wait too long, the damage can become irreversible and even life-threatening if the cancer spreads. Don't chalk it up to just getting older. When your eyes send a warning, take it seriously. Number 6. Strange or new stool changes. Let's face it, talking about stool isn't pleasant, but your poop can actually tell you a lot about your health, especially when it comes to cancer. Many people assume that constipation, diarrhea, or odd-looking stools are just related to food or hydration. And while that's often true, if these changes become persistent, lasting more than a few weeks, it could be an early indicator of colorectal, pancreatic, or liver cancer. One of the biggest red flags is a change in stool color. Pale, clay-colored stool may indicate a blockage in the bile ducts caused by a pancreatic or liver tumor. Dark or tarry stools could suggest bleeding in the upper gastrointestinal tract. If your stool is consistently narrow, almost like a ribbon, it may be due to a mass pressing against the colon. The scary thing is, most people dismiss these signs as diet-related or minor gut issues. But if you're noticing that your bathroom habits have changed dramatically and they're not going back to normal, it's time to dig deeper. You might also notice increased bloating, an urgent need to go but nothing happens, or a sensation of incomplete evacuation. These symptoms point to something affecting the normal movement of your digestive system. And remember, your stool is one of the first places your body reflects internal problems. Don't ignore the signs that something deeper may be brewing. Number 5. Skin that suddenly looks or feels different. As we age, our skin naturally becomes drier, thinner, and more prone to bruising. But what most people don't realize is that cancer often begins with skin changes that seem harmless at first glance. If you notice areas of your skin becoming unusually rough, discolored, or irritated without any obvious cause, it may not be just aging. It could be the earliest sign of skin cancer or even internal cancers affecting your immune system. In some cases, people develop persistent itching in one area that doesn't respond to creams or medication. In others, a patch of skin may look red and inflamed like eczema or develop a yellow tint, which could be linked to liver issues. A rare but striking clue is a condition called acanthosis nigricans, where folds of the skin, especially around the neck or armpits, become thick, dark, and velvety. This can sometimes point to gastric cancer or insulin resistance. You might also notice that wounds take longer to heal or that bruises appear without trauma, which could signal blood-related cancers like leukemia. The key is to watch for changes that are new and persistent, especially in places that aren't exposed to the sun. If your skin starts behaving differently and it doesn't improve, your doctor may suggest a skin biopsy or blood tests to rule out anything serious. Number 4. Unexplained night sweats. Waking up drenched in sweat despite sleeping in a cool room with light covers isn't just uncomfortable, it can be a serious warning sign. While night sweats are often brushed off as menopause-related or blamed on bad dreams or warm weather, they can actually be a subtle early symptom of certain cancers, especially lymphoma or leukemia. What makes night sweats cancer-related is how they happen. They're usually intense, drenching, and occur consistently, often without a fever or any sign of infection. You might find your pajamas soaked or even have to change your bedding in the middle of the night. These sweats are triggered by inflammatory chemicals released by cancer cells, which can disrupt your body's temperature regulation, especially during rest. In some cases, night sweats are accompanied by mild fever, unexplained fatigue, or slight weight loss, but they can also show up on their own. What's dangerous is how easily this symptom gets ignored. People think it's hormonal changes, stress, or even a side effect of medications. But if you're not actively sick, haven't changed your routine, and still wake up sweating for more than a week or two, it's time to talk to your doctor. A blood test or imaging scan might be recommended to check for deeper causes. Cancer-related night sweats don't go away with fans or cooler blankets. They're your body trying to alert you to a serious internal shift. Number 3. Bone pain that has no clear cause. A little back pain here, a sore shoulder there, aches and pains are part of getting older, right? But when you have chronic, unexplained pain that lingers or worsens, it could be a hidden sign of something much more serious. Cancer-related pain is tricky because it doesn't always start at the site of the cancer. A tumor in the pancreas might cause persistent back pain. Prostate cancer could cause aching in the hips or thighs. Bone pain or deep joint aches may also indicate bone metastasis, where cancer has spread. What makes this type of pain different is its persistence and intensity over time. It doesn't respond well to painkillers, it might be worse at night, and it often grows stronger gradually. Some seniors describe it as a deep, gnawing ache that doesn't behave like normal arthritis. Others say it's sharp, even when resting, or seems to shift around the body. This happens because cancerous growths can press on nerves, bones, or soft tissue, causing inflammation or damage from the inside. So, if you've been nursing the same sore spot for weeks and it's not improving with rest, stretching, or over-the-counter meds, that's a red flag. Doctors may start with X-rays or MRIs to rule out structural causes, but bone scans or PET scans are often needed to identify cancers that aren't yet visible on traditional imaging. Don't let pain become your normal, especially if it feels off from your usual aging discomfort. Number 2. Changes in your nails or fingertips. Your nails might seem like an odd place to look for cancer signs, but the body has its ways of sending subtle messages. Clubbing, where the tips of the fingers become rounder and the nails curve downward, can be one of the earliest signs of lung cancer or even gastrointestinal cancers. This happens when oxygen levels in your blood drop over time, triggering changes in the nail bed and soft tissues of the fingers. You might notice your nails becoming spongy, shiny, or slightly painful to the touch. Another sneaky sign is the sudden appearance of dark vertical streaks in the nails, which may indicate a rare form of skin cancer called subungual melanoma. Sometimes nails can also become unusually brittle or have pits and grooves that weren't there before. Seniors often assume these are normal aging effects or signs of nutrient deficiency. But if these changes appear quickly or affect only one finger, it's a sign to investigate further. The problem is most people don't think twice about their nails unless they break. But when nail changes come out of nowhere and persist, doctors may order blood tests or chest imaging to rule out internal causes. It may seem like a small thing, but sometimes the smallest clues are the most urgent. Number 1. A feeling that something is off or general unwellness. This is the sneakiest sign of all and the most important. Many seniors with early cancer don't have any dramatic symptoms. Instead, they describe a vague sense of feeling not quite right. It's hard to explain and even harder to diagnose, which is why it gets ignored so often. You might feel more tired than usual, a little foggy, or like your usual activities take more effort. Some people say they feel oddly anxious or off balance, even when everything else looks fine on the surface. This could be your body reacting to chemical signals released by cancer cells, which alter immune and neurological functions. Others experience strange, low-level symptoms like a mild sore throat that never goes away, unexplained chills, or random low-grade fevers. The key here is duration and consistency. If you've been feeling unwell in a way that's hard to pinpoint and this lasts for weeks, it's not something to brush off. Doctors may recommend a broad panel of blood work and scans to uncover hidden illnesses. And while it may turn out to be something minor, there are countless stories of people who caught their cancer early simply because they listened to their intuition. You know your body better than anyone. If it keeps whispering that something's not right, listen. So, these were the 8 early signs of cancer you should never ignore. Now let's get to the more empowering part of this video. 3 everyday foods that can help reduce your risk of cancer, according to science. While no single food can prevent cancer entirely, research has identified specific foods that can significantly reduce your risk when incorporated into a balanced diet. Number 1. Broccoli. This humble green veggie is one of the most studied cancer-fighting foods on the planet. What makes it so powerful is a compound called sulforaphane, which has been shown to reduce inflammation and protect cells from DNA damage, one of the key triggers of cancer. In a landmark study from the National Cancer Institute, researchers followed 50,000 men for over 10 years and found those consuming just 1 daily serving of cruciferous vegetables had a 32% lower risk of developing aggressive prostate cancer compared to those rarely eating these vegetables. It works by boosting detoxifying enzymes in the liver and blocking certain pathways cancer cells use to multiply. What's even more interesting is that cooking broccoli lightly, like steaming for 3 minutes, preserves its nutrients better than boiling. So try to add it to your dinner at least a few times a week, and you'll be giving your body a serious advantage. Number 2. Tomatoes. These aren't just for pasta sauce. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, which is a natural pigment that gives them their red color and is linked to a lower risk of certain cancers, especially prostate and lung cancer. According to a large study in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute, men who consumed tomato products more than 10 times per week had a 35% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to those who didn't. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from oxidative stress, which is a major cause of cancer cell formation. Interestingly, lycopene becomes more bioavailable, meaning easier to absorb when tomatoes are cooked. So don't be afraid of that homemade tomato sauce or roasted cherry tomatoes on your salad. Just avoid processed varieties loaded with sugar or additives. Number 3. Berries, especially blueberries and raspberries. These small fruits pack a massive punch when it comes to fighting cancer. Berries are loaded with anthocyanins, ellagic acid, and vitamin C, which all help neutralize free radicals and reduce inflammation throughout the body. In a study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, rats that were fed a berry-rich diet showed a 58% reduction in esophageal tumors compared to those on a standard diet. While this is an animal study, human research has also shown that people who eat berries regularly have lower markers of inflammation and oxidative stress. The fibers in berries also feed the good gut bacteria, which helps regulate the immune system, which is your first line of defense against abnormal cell growth. Whether you enjoy them in smoothies, oatmeal, or just as a snack, berries are a delicious and protective food to keep in your cancer prevention toolkit. At the end, cancer doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through sneaky, easily missed signs. The trick is knowing how to listen and acting early. If you're over 60, staying in tune with your body could be the single most powerful thing you do for your health. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you or someone you love experienced any of these signs but didn't think much of them at first? Which of the 3 foods we mentioned do you eat regularly or plan to start adding to your meals? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.